Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to Reads and Eats. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you're here today. It's the weekend again. Where has time gone? This week just seems to have flown by. Has it been a busy week for me? Sort of. Tuesday I had yoga lesson, which was just that was just so nice. My yoga practice was just so good on Tuesday. Movement and relaxation, and it was just it was lovely. My car was in the garage. Yeah, it was in for its service. And I'm actually now really, really grateful I did do that. I was thinking, I don't need to have a service because I haven't reached, the mileage for the service. But we're going away in a couple of weeks and we're taking my car and it's quite a bit of a drive. So I thought I'll put it in for its service as well as MOT. MOT's next week. So thought nothing of it, didn't think there was anything wrong. Get a phone call, come back from yoga, and Mum goes, all your yoga zen will have gone. I'm like, why? What's happened? And one of the guys took the car out for a test run and discovered that the driver's brakes were heating. So they went in and looked, and the caliper wasn't working properly. And it was like it was happening with the brake pads and discs. So they phoned me again and went, right, we're going to have to order new parts. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, just do it. And I went, if you need to keep it till next week, just do it. But thankfully they managed to get parts very quickly and I got my car back on Wednesday. But it's like, yeah, not what I needed. Really not what I needed. And then on Wednesday I managed to have a nice chat. Well, sort of have a nice chat with my friend via WhatsApp, but the sound kept coming in and out, which was slightly frustrating for both of us. And then yesterday I did my first live, so thank you to anyone who's watching this. Thank you very much that if you came on my live, I really much appreciate it. I had a great time. I don't know why this laptop wouldn't let me do it. I'll use my other one next time. But yeah, that was fun to do, and I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, so that's kind of been my kind of week in a little wee wrap up bundle. Reading wise, last night I managed to finish, yes, Miss Austen by Gill Hornby. I gave this 3 out of 5. It was okay. It was gentle. It was some bits of it, beautifully written. I have to say, some of it was just it really was beautiful. So we meet Cassandra Austen, and she has come back to the village of Kintbury. Because she's come to find letters that she and her sister Jane wrote to their friend Eliza, and that she thinks that it's probably a very good idea that these letters do not get into anybody else's hands. Eliza has passed away and her daughter Isabella is in the house at the moment, but because her father's passed as well, they need to move out of the rectory. So Cassandra's come basically to find the letters, but supposedly also to help. When you find she gives you snippets of bits of her time there as well, in Kintbury. But you also, when she finds the letters, you get the actual letter, and then you get the sort of the story that the letter sort of refers to. So it was really nicely done. I have to say, I did enjoy it. I just found it slow going, very slow going, and would I read another by this author? I know there is another one. I'm not sure, guys. I'm really not. As I say, I enjoyed it, but not kind of raving about it. I then also read The Summer Swap by Jill Morgan. Sarah Morgan. Sorry, I've just realised my battery's on saver power, so that's probably why the lights have gone down funny. I tell you what, I'm gonna go and get my charger. I'm gonna put you in pause so you can chat amongst yourselves. I'm gonna put you in pause and then I'm gonna go and get my charger. Now that's better. You can actually see me rather than being in a dark, dingy place. So yeah, anyway. The Summer Swap by Sarah Morgan. I am really, really fortunate to be on Sarah's UK review crew and have been for a number of years. Which means I get her new book free in exchange for an honest review, and she signs them all, which is lovely. So she signs them all. So I get two books a year, which is great. So in this one we meet Cecilia Lapthorne, and she is about to celebrate her 75th birthday with a party that her daughter has organised. Cecilia doesn't want said party. Also, this party is to commemorate her deceased husband as well. He was a famous painter. And it's to sort of commemorate his life as well. And she really doesn't want any part of it. She's not particularly close to her daughter. And the daughter seems to be kind of riding roughshod over what her mother wants. So she takes matters into her own hands. I think slightly urged by the fact that somebody's been asking about a painting. And there seems to be a secret about said painting. But also she's discovered that her husband didn't sell a cottage on the Cape that he should have done. So she decides to escape there. She sneaks out the house and she drives to the Cape, to Doon Cottage. Meanwhile, in the Cape, we have Lily. Now, Lily was best friends with Cecilia's granddaughter, Hannah. They both went to medical school together. While Hannah has stayed at medical school, Lily has realised it's not for her and has dropped out. And Lily has had a crush on Cecilia's grandson, Todd, for years, but nothing has ever come of it. So there is a meeting between Lily and Cecilia, because Lily is working in the Cape as a cleaner for various houses, and Doon Cottage happens to be one of the ones that she has been cleaning. But she's also been living there because her room share ended and she couldn't find somewhere else, so she ended up living there. So there is a meeting between Lily and Cecilia, obviously, and they become friends. And it's through becoming friends and discovering more about each other that, they find a common bond, which is really, really nice. Then Todd arrives. And that could throw a spanner in the works. Does it throw a spanner in the works? Does Cecilia see something between Lily and Todd that she's more than happy to happen? Also, Cecilia is becoming reacquainted with somebody that she knew when she was a youngster before she got married on the Cape. Is there going to be something there? Is there going to be a wee romance there? It was beautifully written. I loved the dynamics between Cecilia and Lily. I thought it was written really, really well. I liked Cecilia as a character. I liked both of them as a character, I have to say. I really did. I liked Todd. He was a great character. I got to like Kirsten, who is Cecilia's daughter. I got to like her the more we found out about her and the reason she is why she is. She does something that I'm like, well, good for you, girl. Well done. I'm pleased that you had the guts to do that, and that was, she showed some gumption, as the saying goes. But no, I really, really enjoyed this one. I gave this one a 5 out of 5. I meant to say I gave the Miss Austen a 3 out of 5. But I gave this 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. If you're looking for a really good summer beachy read, this is the one for you. I then read on my Kindle A Helping Hand for the Village Nurse by Tilly Tennant. I gave this 3.5 out of 5. We meet Otley. And Otley is... how can I put it? I'm going to say escaping Manchester. She's in her, as I say, she worked in a hospital, and one day while on shift, the day of her wedding, I think it's her wedding anniversary, her husband, who's in the police, was attacked, and he's rushed into ER, and I'm afraid he doesn't make it. So Otley decides she's going to escape Manchester, escape the memories, and is moving to the Lake District to a village called Thimblebury to become the nurse there at the local GP practice. And this is the story of her life there, or the beginnings of her life there, the people she meets. There are characters. There are always characters in small villages, and there's no exception to this one. You have Flo, who's an old lady who can be curmudgeonly, but really, really, she loves Otley very much. You then have Marcus and his husband, who run the village shop, and it's like they also run the village film club from their own cinema in the backyard. You have the local farmer Victor and his wife, who are really generous and everything. They are so nice. And then you have Flo's grandson Heath, who is very quiet, who is maybe at times too forthright and gets the wrong end of the stick at times, and can just be not the nicest person at times. So we have all of this going on, and it's like how Otley is settling in and things. And then something happens that she thinks, well, the only option I've got is to leave the village. I can't stay. I've got to go. But the villagers have got other ideas, and the villagers do all they can to make sure that she stays. And it's really a story of finding basically another way of found family, because the friends that she makes do become like a family to her, and it's finding your place in the village, in the world, and it's like where you're supposed to be. She very much thinks that Thimblebury is her home. She counts it as her home, and her cottage sounds absolutely delightful. I would love to go there. I would love to go to the wee village because it just sounds absolutely delightful. As I say, I gave this one 3.5. I enjoyed it, but this is like my second or third Tilly Tennant, and they've been okay. I'm not going, oh yeah, wow, and that's a shame, because I don't know what it is. There's just something about, it must be there was just something about the way she writes, but it just doesn't gel completely with me, which is a shame. But it is a good story, and I would say give it a 3.5. Give it a go. Honestly, give it a go and see what you think. Then I read on this one again, the Heartpine Recipes by Elsie Fields. I gave this 3 out of 5. Again, another slow-paced book. And we meet the main character, whose name I want to say Lauren, or knows Grace. Grace comes back to her hometown of Heartpines to stay with her aunt, because her job in Nashville and her engagement in Nashville have gone by the wayside. So she goes back to Heartpines to sort of just think, what does she want to do? And also from a respite from city life. And she ends up getting involved with her aunt and her aunt's friends in putting together a cookbook of recipes from the town and from the area. And it's like a southern cookbook. And you get, each chapter is set into one recipe. So you get the story of the recipe and what the committee etc. think about it and how they've got that recipe. And then at the end of the chapter you have the recipe. It was really nice. It was nicely written. Really, I did enjoy getting the backstory of the recipes etc. Will I try some? There are a couple I might try. We'll see. I did enjoy it a bit like the Tilly Tennant. I did enjoy it, but there was just something about it that I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, if I'm honest. It was a nice read, but again, I'm not kind of raving about it. So yeah, so that's kind of my reading for the week that's passed. What am I going to be reading this weekend? Well, I've decided I'm going to read The Race by Roy Peachy. This has got to do this is what it feels like when I'm running. When I'm running fast, I feel free. 12-year-old Lily is determined to defeat her arch rival in front of the Queen during her school's anniversary celebrations. Adopted from China as a baby, Lily also has personal challenges to overcome, but when her training is thrown into chaos by events outside her control, she realises that she must choose between family and the race of her life. Meanwhile, in 1944, Eric Liddell, hero of the 1924 Olympics, finds himself in a war zone. Separated from his family, he is getting ready to run his final race in a prison camp in China, when his lifelong principles are challenged by the imprisoned children he is trying to help. Now, I've read a lot about Eric Liddell, and you know, if there was one athlete that I would have loved to, obviously he had passed way before my time, but Chariots of Fire is one of my favourite films, and I have great admiration in many ways for Eric Liddell. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in this book, and how the author puts both both tales together. So so I'm looking forward to reading that. And then on my Kindle, I'm going to start The Law of Attraction by Nancy Naigle. This again is a book for review, which I'm very pleased for the publishers that they sent me that one for review. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm trying to say I'm away on holiday, not next week, but the week after, and I'm trying to get like all the review books that I need for this month done, because Mum and Dad have said, well, for June, Mum and Dad have said to me, you're not bringing any books for review on holiday. You're having that time for relaxation and rest. And I'm like, right, okay. And so I am doing my best to get all the sort of the June review books read, so that when I come back, I can maybe start on the July ones, which would be good. So that's kind of where we're at reading wise. Please let me know down in the comments, have you read any of the books that I have mentioned? Do any of them, if not, do any of them sound interesting that you would like to read? I would love to know. What have you been reading this week? Again, please come chat with me down in the comments. Anything that you've read that you think, oh yeah, Fiona, you would really enjoy reading that, you should try it. What have you been doing this week? Anything nice, or just in general, what have you been doing? What are my plans for the weekend? Well, the other half comes back today. Yes. Haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, so it'll be nice to see him. There's rugby this weekend. There's European Cup finals for the Challenge Cup and the Champions Cup, so I'll be watching those this weekend. I'm not sure if there's athletics as well. Diamond League from Eugene. I'll have to double check that. If there is, we'll be watching that as well. I have finished. Oh, if you didn't see my live yesterday, or if I'm repeating myself and you have seen it, I'm sorry. Cardigan that I was crocheting. I have finished one sleeve that I was redoing. I started the second sleeve, so I'm hoping to finish the second sleeve today if I can. And then it means tomorrow I can just sew it back into the cardigan, finish sewing the cardigan up, and then yes, it is ready for wearing. Yay! This has been a long time coming with this cardigan. So hopefully it'll get finished this weekend, which will be really, really nice. But that's it. The weather today thankfully is dry. Touching wood, it stays like that for a wee while. It was just yesterday was off. The last 2 days just rain and more rain. So hopefully we're in for a wee dry spell, which would be very nice. So, but that's it for this video, friends. I don't think anything else to tell you, have I? I'm trying to think. Nope, I think that's it. But yeah, that's it, definitely. But whatever you do, friends, until my next video, have a great weekend, stay safe, and happy reading. Bye!